Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Darkness in Dublin. We're now in the communal haven, where the pack of the Eye of Caine is gathered to perform the rite of Vaulderie.
Awesome.
Everyone gather round.
Rose walks up to Izzy, just smiling and gleaming.
Welcome all to the most holiest of rituals, the symbol of the strengthening of the bonds in our pact. Izzy raises the chalice slowly. I consecrate this vessel to the blood of my brothers, purified by the mark of Cain. Izzy carefully and slowly passes the chalice off to Rose.
Rose nods as she takes out her blade that she has and cuts her hand and starts to pour her blood into the chalice. She passes it off to Megan.
Thank you. Doctus? You know what to do. I'll just follow your lead. He takes it and just cuts himself straight across the hand, nice and deep. He squeezes his hand over the cup. Then he passes it on to Christian.
Christian takes it, looks at all the rest of the people that took the chalice, and says, "Fucking noobs," and scratches along the back of his hand and arm and bleeds into the cup.
Rose just shakes her head.
Nibs? The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You don't cut the palm of your hand. This isn't a TV show.
Oh, bleeds just the same.
Yeah, true.
We heal quick enough anyway.
Yeah. You got a fair point there. Old habits, I guess.
Now pass the chalice back to Izzy.
Christian does.
Izzy gingerly picks up the chalice and places it in front of herself, pulls a dagger from the depths of her robe, and slits all the way down her arm. Blood slowly drips into the chalice.
Well, now we know she's serious.
Everyone, please repeat after me. I give this blood
I give this blood
onto my brothers,
onto my brothers,
that they might be freed by me.
by they might free by me. Be free by me.
Izzy slowly raises the chalice and hands it back to Rose.
Rose takes the chalice and lifts it up, and she says, "For Caine," as she takes a sip of it and passes it to Pagan.
Well, looks like I'm popping another cherry today. My first time. Be gentle. He sips from the cup. He passes it along to Christian.
He just shakes his head and drinks a little bit from it.
Izzy gestures for the chalice.
Yeah, he passes it back to Izzy.
Izzy slowly takes a sip.
Not that funny.
It is when you're in the same room looking at each other.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. And with this, we have performed our Vaulderie, and we are now truly a pack of one.
Sweet.
So as you all know, we are going to be the best pack that will be around and
Yeah.
will ever be. But first we need to get some checkpoints done. We need to gain more influence. Do any of you have any plans on what could help us? Any suggestions at all?
Well, there's that elder gang route that likes to show up and disappear. You know, kind of come and goes as he pleases, leaving little bits of trouble in his wake. I think we could stand to dispatch of him. And frankly, yeah, we need to become the best because I'm fucking sick of being in the shadow of the ICRA. I mean, nothing against Spudgun. He's my clanmate. I adore the guy. But gotta be in that #1 spot. Seriously.
No, I get
So-
it. I have grand respect for my other ductus or duck eyes. But Amelia can't be the only one to be seen on top. Where would that leave me?
No comment.
Really? I didn't realize you like to be on top.
She's the Duchess. What do you expect?
Rose just rolls her eyes. You guys know what I mean.
I'm sorry.
Can't
not mine.
afford. Oh my! You'd rather be on top than be on bottom. Would you want to be someone's bottom bitch? Because that's what we are right now.
Well, in street terms, bottom bitch means it's the whore that makes the most money.
I mean, we do have some well off to do here. But that's not what I mean either.
Anyway, yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
we
I'll put a
can
straight face
take
on.
the Hound Master. But for that, I feel like we're going to end up doing that. We're going to have to find out a way to get more cannon fodder in our wake.
Well, you
Because
know,
as we are right now, we wouldn't have a chance, unfortunately.
I understand that. But, I mean, I'm thinking we could try some mass adoptions at all the different dog pounds, getting better at the animal thing all the time. I can call him to me. In fact, he snaps his fingers, and here comes a German Shepherd. And he points towards Christian, says, "Go." Then he sits next to Christian. That's the gift. Do with it what you will.
I mean, adoption's one way to go about it, or we can just walk in and take it like we are meant to.
Yeah.
We own everything. We don't need to
Yeah.
ask.
That's the truth. I keep thinking about doing everything low key. You know, I'm a gangster still. You know, I can't help myself, so I try to do it all under the table. You know, I don't want to show up on camera. I can't make myself invisible. I can't make cameras fuck up. Sure, I can make every dog and cat and bird and lizard, whatever the fuck in there, come my way if I ask, possibly. But you know, shit. I guess that's a way better way of doing it. Just maybe we could get a box truck, and open up the gates of the dogs we want, and I can just call them, and they'll
That's
come.
true. But you also are still being reminded of yourself as human.
I've
Well,
been
we are vampires. Yes, we may steal, but we can ghoul somebody to have them take down the cameras, open up gates, all of that for us. We just have to do it right.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry. I'm still in that moral mind state. I haven't been around for very long. What, about a month and a half now? Come on, I'm a babe.
You would think you'd be in it. You've had your mind literally blown.
In more than one way. As for the influences part, how would we go about doing that?
Well, I do know that the bishop does want us to build up the army and getting more influence by ghouling more people. We can try to find more ways to to ghoul more higher up people to bring them into the fold that we can use their resources.
Well, speaking of which, I did manage to ghoul the leader of my gang, so through him we can control the rest of the rats.
Oh, lovely. Rose claps her hands and brings it to her chest with a huge smile. That's step one.
Yeah, he didn't drink fast.
But when it comes to the influence, Rose turns her head towards Christian. Did you have anything in mind yourself?
Well, we could go about it a subterfuge type of way and start blood bonding anybody that comes through hospitals.
That is true. But we do have to be mindful of if there's anything like anyone there. There was an incident where we tried to blood bond the wrong person, and then the Yakuza was very, very displeased.
Oh,
I've seen that happen.
the Oriental people that own the bathhouse right down the road from here.
I wouldn't know. I've only been to a function, we'll call it, of theirs.
Really? We should really sit down and, trade notes.
I tend not to go around people with weapons that make my eyes bleed.
Oh dear.
As I said, sit down and take notes. But other than the medical field and dogs, did you have any particular area that you wanted to broach more influence into?
I say the closer it is to those Camarillas, the better. The more pushback we have, not only us putting ourselves at risk, Rose says, with doing air quotations, the more highly the bishop will think of us.
Right. And what organizations and businesses are in that sort of area?
I'm gonna have to look more into that. My memory's not what it used to be. I mean, I guess it's better than what it used to be. I used to have none.
Wow. That's gotta be one hell of a story.
Oh, it's nothing. I just woke up after a dirt nap. It's good. You can say my life started now. What about you, Izzy? Is there anything that you think we could do? Any suggestions from you?
Well, me, I like to get my hands dirty, release his retractable claws, licks up nails slowly, returns Claus. I say we go in, walls to the wall.
I thought there was a reason I liked you. You like getting things done.
Well, there is a difference between being reckless and being smart. We can't just strong arm our way into some of these things.
No,
And-
I agree, but I feel Izzy has some merit to her words. She has been, her and Patrick were a long-time pack mates so long back ago. And I've been told some glorious stories.
It sounds like if we really want to head up this problem, that we'll have to be fighting on two fronts. The first being getting them to our side through blood bonds, blackmail, bribery, coercion. And the other one is to go in, well, guns blazing, so to speak.
Mhm. That is 100% correct, and that's why I feel with the pack that we have here, I couldn't ask for a better one. We have people who are good at the more subterfuge side of things, she says as she kind of wafts her hand towards Christian and brings it back to herself. And we also have ones that aren't afraid to go in head first, and then she waved her hand towards Izzy and Pagan.
By the way, kind of a side note, since you did say I was good at infiltration, I will need to breed or grow my herd a little bit.
Yeah, I think we all could use some more of that. Not have to worry about finding a place to eat would be nice.
Yeah, as it stands, I'm unable to really get back on my feet if I do a full body transformation.
Can I buy you a drink? I'd love one. What can I get you?
Well, we can also work on that. The end goal is to be the best. In order to be the best, we must get up even if we fall down a little bit. So let's work on our cushion.
I don't think it's any secret that I actually own the chain of mortuaries, but what you probably don't know is that I have quite a huge nest egg that we can draw upon. Not too expansively, but enough that it's probably head and shoulders above any other pack.
That's bullshit.
Well,
You can
that would be a good start.
I think maybe
Yeah, everything's funny to you too when it happens.
sorry, is the TV bothering you guys?
Bit loud.
Yeah, it's a
Really?
bit.
Shit. But yeah, maybe we can find some way of making the rats disagreeable to the Camarilla, or maybe they can offend each other or piss each other off, you know? That might help a little. That way, if I tell them to go do something like that and those guys are involved, they may be more likely to do what I asked them to. We need some kind of motivation for those guys because, you know, there could be 20, 30 more rats. I'm not exactly sure how many. Don't quote me on numbers, but, you know, I mean, that's a good shovel herd or whatever it's called. We could, you know, just embrace those guys.
I wouldn't embrace them, but it does sound like you have a whole smear recruitment campaign that you should get started on.
Yeah,
Rose nods.
I'm not too bright a bulb, guys. I don't know how to research or any of that. I don't know how to investigate. I just break things. Come on. So what would you? Where should I start?
The predicament between Braun versus Bring.
Well, what do you hate about the Camarilla?
I can't think of anything I don't fucking hate about the Camarilla.
Excellent. Start with that. Except spin it so that the human minds cannot comprehend what you're saying. Make it sound like that this rival gang is rolling up in their territory and that they need to take care of it. But they have the armaments and drugs to make sure that they're harder to take down than any other gang they've taken on before. Your gang, the Rats, need to do a recruitment drive. Because, you know, you don't want somebody else rolling up on your turf.
I guess that's true, but that means I need names. They can't just say these guys. They've got to have names. I can't just say the Camarilla, or should I? I mean,
Well,
I need to know who to send them after. Who's the guy that's, invading the turf?
Rose, do you have more information on names in the Camarilla or their pawns?
Hey guys, what's up?
yes. I actually do. Rose starts like patting herself down. I do. I'm gonna have to find my book. Once you lost your memory once, you kind of try to write everything down. But I do have some names. But I'll get back to you. I do know we do have somebody within the medical field and someone within the art that's big in the arts. I just need to get back to you with those names.
Good.
I have to find my notes.
It would probably be better off that once you have those names, we should do a little bit of digging into the ghouls, because it would be ill-advised to send them up against another vampire.
Yeah, that's the truth. And, I can start giving you guys names and photos of the rats, and if you want to go about ghouling them, go ahead.
Rose nods. I'm going to see if I can speak to a bishop in seeing if we could be granted a dominion close to the Camarillas themselves, so we can get a foothold into where we want to be. Because I know one part of it is of swords, and that's owned by my old pack that I was in. But I'm sure that there's another spot within their dominion, within that dominion where the Camarilla still lies.
Oh, that's good.
When doesn't the Camarilla lie?
I would say when they're dead, but
Well, yeah, that's a good answer. I'm sorry, pain in the ass is on full force today. I can't explain it. I apologize ahead of time for any offense.
All good. So we have our plan. Well, we had the start of our plan. I'll try to get us a dominion near the Camarilla where we can get our foothold in. We're gonna need someone to ghoul some pounds for us the people who work at the pound so we can get you a steady supply of dogs so you can have other creatures.
This is really gonna piss off the vegans.
The V what?
They don't matter.
We should turn a few of them. That would be interesting to watch.
Dude, you're
The conundrum.
horrible.
Did I
But,
say
hey.
I was a nice person?
I'm not here to judge you.
Such a beautifully wicked mind. Okay, we have those three. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting?
Well, for one, trying to incite a gang war between Egan's rats and the Camarilla.
Yes, and I have to get those names to you.
Yes.
Yes. Of course.
It'd probably be best if we also started working towards like a police station. Or the constable area of the area.
Yeah.
That would be good if one controls the police force, one controls the city.
Right. Do we actually have a haven that we can... Do we actually have a communal haven?
We do have a communal haven. It's the prison that we're in.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that wasn't answered in side chat, so I thought we were at the one that Voivod owned.
Oh no, I wouldn't go there. I think I've only been there for my bloodening.
Okay. Cool. Well, in that case,
What's up?
we need
Look at my
to
feet.
we need to focus on one, maybe two items on the docket so far. We can't do everything in a night or a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be ill-advised to. I would suggest waiting on the gang war, or probably getting it started, but not actually releasing the Hounds of War yet. As for the Camarilla, I also would suggest moving onto the territory until we're actually more set up with more food.
I understand your concern on that part, but being on the battle lines where we were for when I was with Shisha, she says, pointing towards Izzy, we hadn't really run into many troubles. As long as we keep our heads down, we should be fine until we're ready to spring our attack.
Okay. I only bring it up because an army crawls on its belly, so to speak.
I understand. But I do think the ones that tried to get through, per se, wouldn't be able to get through us. Most of the time, don't they send their underlings? I believe this pack is better than some Camarilla underlings.
Yeah.
As for me, I think I will actually start here, beefing up our defenses in our haven, this communal haven.
I mean, we can, but I do know that I'm sure that the bishops that are here, not bishops, I'm sorry, the paladins that are here will work on that as well.
I didn't catch that word. What was it?
I'm sure that the paladins that have offices here do that already. We need to work on getting ourselves our own haven, which is why I'm trying to set up that get ourselves a domain.
Ah, okay. Misunderstood that.
Oh, no problem. Well, we're still new as a team. We got this.
Just let me know if you guys need anything. Anything short of guns I can get you, and even then, that's kind of a hazy issue.
Nah, I'm already strapped thanks to Rose here.
Yes, in the last battle that we were in, we got for ourselves a shotgun.
Yeah.
Cool. The most difficult part about that is keeping it loaded.
Yeah, that's true. But this is what looks like a 5-shot pump. That's not too bad.
I was talking about acquiring the ammunition.
Oh, yeah. You can make your own ammo.
Oh, Mike, you
not-
can make your own. Both of you seem affluent enough. I'm sure you can buy it online.
That can be difficult.
Rose, how close did you want to go into the Camarilla territory?
I am fine with being on, like, the border between the two territories.
Well, if you can give me a couple of places that you would want to go, I can get you anywhere inside it, assuming I'm not cock-blocked by the Camarilla.
Good to know. Once we get a domain, I'll let you know. Because once we get a domain, we can actually settle down without worries of being uprooted
Yes.
by other members.
Yeah. Apparently, the whole death and taxes saying, well, I still have to do taxes, and having a deed saying that this land is mine or ours would really cement that. How much blood is on the deeds? That's negotiable.
That's variable. Okay. So I think what we can work on right now is one, I can get the information to Pagan to at least getting the other Yane in his old gang's ear to get at least that started, but not going. We can possibly look around at some towns to start Googling some owners or workers there, so we can get you your lovely pets.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not as good with animals as Pagan is at the moment. I have neglected that particular part of my bloodline.
That's fine. Pagan and Izzy shall be able to help you with anything that you need, if anything you're failing on, until you can pick up.
Speaking of which, I got a couple of more dogs that it came from. I adopted 3 when I went through myself. So if you want one of them just for your own designs, rather than just having to give that one up to your voivode, I mean, shit, no flush off my back.
Yes, to get you your gift that you were speaking of, right?
Yes, I still have yet to meet up with him.
Okay, well, I already gave you 1 dog.
Okay.
So if you want a second, just let me know.
I'll get to work on that. I might want a second, but my most pressing issue is blood, vitae. I don't have a stockpile or a resource to consistently get it. Is why I brought it up.
Okay,
Well,
then.
let me ask you: Are you particularly computer savvy?
Oh, please.
And while we're on hold, remember, guys, to do your rolls for the Vaulderie so we can keep track of it.
I gotta download Discord. This is a fresh install. Just a second.
What are the rolls? I've never done a Vaulderie before.
It's a D10 per person.
Just a straight D10.
Yes, and whatever that number is where it is on the chart of how magically kind of bound you are to each other from 1 to 10, and depending on how often we do it, I might be thinking weekly. unless you roll a 0. I mean, not a 0. Unless you roll a 1, there's no way that the binding of how much we like each other magically is lowered. So if you're working to get each other higher. So I go like, and you put down the person's name down first, and then you do the roll and all that, so it's kept and monitored properly or whatnot. And if you want to share, and what the number represents is how much you're bound to that person. It doesn't necessarily represent how you technically feel towards the person.
Mm-hmm.
And we can share it if you want. I usually share it, but if y'all want to keep it to yourself and like more role play it out, that's fine as well.
Aggravating.
Yeah, I'm still trying to download Discord.
Izzy? Wait, that was Rosalina. Okay. I love you, Izzy. I love you.
Most people do.
Trying to get multiple use of that.
Right. Unless it's me, then I just don't care.
Yeah, I went ahead and put mine in side chat. I guess I should put that in my blue books as well.
Yes.
This is exactly the length.
Yeah, Izzy, I put mine in side chat. So.
Good one.
And then also, don't forget to do it for Miriam. Miriam is here. She's just been very quiet in the corner.
Okay.
That just doesn't work.
Were any of them people asking who the ugly old guy was in the background?
I don't know. No, they haven't.
Man, I really go for the quiet people.
No. Are you still in?
All right. All right, here comes my roll. You said it's a D10 per participant,
Yes.
right?
Well,
So how many?
it's just a single D10 for the person. You do one person at a time.
Oh, I see. I thought I was supposed to do 5 D10 and do it that way, but no. All right.
One thing I'm researching.
And if, like I said, I'm thinking about doing it weekly, and you would roll a D10 again, and if it's above the number that you rolled previously, it goes up 1 point. If it's below, it stays the same unless you roll a 1, which decreases the value of your current that you have by 1.
How many in our pack total? That's 5, right?
In the pack?
Yeah.
Izzy, Christian, Miriam, Rose, Pagan. Yeah, but you just don't count yourself, so you have 4 rolls.
Oh, okay.
Don't sound too disappointed.
He's like, I can't roll to like myself.
Alright, here we are.
So instead of probably going for the pound, I think we should start at least working on some influence at a hospital then to get you some food. Or we can at least get blood packs, can't we?
Yes.
I need one as well, so I like this idea.
I didn't catch that, like, at all. Hey, Pagan, can you mute Mike?
I need one as well, so I like this idea.
Of course, whatever you say, Izzy.
So I guess it's time to start diving into some hospitals, some blood banks. That sounds like it could be fun.
Izzy, how would you go about doing going through the blood banks or hospitals or whatever?
Well, I figure we should probably try to get somebody on the inside who would have access to all of the rooms.
Of course, that's easy.
So we should easily be able to influence them to do what we want.
And I'm thinking if you work in a medical facility, why can't you worm around on the computer a little and just kind of make some extra blood pouches?
He works at a
Disappear.
medical facility. She says, curiously looking at Christian.
I work at a morgue.
Oh, dead blood's not really the best blood.
Neither is animals.
Oh, well, never mind then.
But I see the point. With the morgue? Are you in a morgue? Is it more a morgue within the churches you own, or is it a morgue within a hospital?
I don't own churches. I own morgues.
For some reason, I thought you owned. I do apologize. My mind's just slipping me on details.
My ass is probably owned by a church, but I wouldn't know.
Okay. We'll see within your morgues if you get any of your bodies like John Doe's and stuff from like hospitals, and whichever hospitals is more linked to you. I think that's how we can find our way in, is to go through the people who go through you.
Right. I was thinking about either a ghouling of a head doctor there, or I could just go in and replace him.
And it always will be fun.
Is that good with you, Izzy?
To be honest, I zoned out over here for a little bit there.
Rose kind of walks up to Izzy. How tall are you, Izzy?
Taller than you.
I mean, a lot of people are taller than me. How tall are you? I'm trying to figure out, do I need to jump? Okay. Rose walks up to Izzy, stands on her tippy toes, and smacks Izzy in the back of her head. Get your head in the game. Come on now. We're setting up a plan.
This is true. This is true. My bad.
Awesome.
And then, so we have a plan. So I think it's time to set it in motion. And with that, I think we should take our leave. What do you think? And Christian, I'll be sure to try to please your mentor. I'll ask again. But at this point, I just think he's getting a kick out of me asking over and over.
Yeah, that would be for the best. I'm wishing to study some of the lost arts, it seems, or the clan secrets. Hopefully that benefits the entire clan.
Well, I wouldn't want to keep you from doing what you see is best, especially if it's something so vastly great for your own clan. Well, with this, I'll bid my adieu. I have some elbows to rub, Ruth says as she takes her leave.
It's been fun, guys.
Be sure to leave some elbows for somebody else.
Rose lifts off a goal and flicks off, still walking away.
All right. Keep your body clean, your mind dirty. Bye, guys.